Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here, and in this video I want to talk about Escape from Tarkov and some of the recent controversy that has come out about this game. Now this is a game that's courted controversy since its launch. There's always been stuff being said about it and stuff being said about the developers and etc, etc. You know, take it all with a pinch of salt. A lot of people were never happy with the game's development and the way it was going, but it does have a core player base that love the game. Now I've been playing since it went into what they termed as closed beta in January, and I've been enjoying it. You know, it does have its problems, yes, it does have its issues, numerous issues, but they put a roadmap out not long ago. I did a video about that, and they talked about how they want to tackle a lot of the issues within the game. You know, there was lots of things that they had to look at and lots of things they had to fix, lots of things that they want to add along the way. Now they want to put new weapons in, new maps, etc, etc, and where I stand on that is all those things are good. You know, I'll take a new map if they're going to give us one, which they are very very soon. I'll take new weapons, but what I really want is the game optimizing. I want the core game to be as good as possible before they start to add things on, but that's just my opinion. You know, a lot of other people think very differently. So it's the 19th of April, this is the day that the 0.8 patch is meant to drop. We're eagerly awaiting it. It still hasn't been put on yet, but we're told it will come today. So I was playing a few days ago, talking to one of my friends that I play with, Jericho, and he asked me if I'd seen this video, and he sent me the link to it, and it's by a guy called Eroktic, and it's really hard to say his name without just saying erotic, but it's Eroktic. He's a streamer and a YouTuber very much into Escape from Tarkov, and he'd done a little test where he started to notice that FPS seemed to be linked, or his rate of fire, seemed to be linked to his FPS. So, and what I mean by that is that the lower his FPS was, the lower his rate of fire was within the game. Now, that's not how these games are meant to work. Regardless of your visuals on the screen, the back end of the game, your internet connection to the server, from the server to the other player, that's supposed to be pretty seamless. Now, they're by no means perfect. Obviously, you've got pings and latencies and things like that, and what region you're in, but by and large, they tend to work. You know, people who play PUBG in the European servers can play against people on the Asian ones, and yeah, there's a slight delay, but it's nothing bad. But he's done this video, I'll put a link in the description to it. I highly recommend that you go and watch it so that you'll understand more what I'm trying to get at. And his video is a little bit confusing at first, but his point by the end of it comes across very clearly. And what he does is he's got two accounts with Tarkov, two PCs, so he logs them both in and he records one character with the other character. And what he does is he sets one PC up with this kind of standard setup with FPS. He's getting around 40 FPS on this one PC, and on the other one he maxes out the settings to the very top and he's getting potato rates. It's like 5 to 10 FPS at the most, and he records that character firing with the other one that's running at 40 FPS. And the first couple of tests that he does are a little different. They're a little different setup and you can't really notice the difference, but when he does this last test towards the back end of his video, you can notice quite clearly that the FPS of that character is directly linked to his rate of fire with the weapon that he's using. And it's just, I was quite gobsmacked when I actually saw it, because that to me would explain sometimes why I have absolutely been decimated by other players. And you know, in those situations I felt like I should have come off the better person. Now, I'm by no means a pro player at this game. I watch some people on YouTube. I've been watching a guy called Young Souls, and I thought I was semi-decent at the game. I watch him and he makes me just look like complete shite. But you know, there are situations where I believe I should have got the person and they got me instead. And there's other bits, you know, where there seems to be a bullet sponge, and obviously these can be explained away with your everyday kind of latency issues, or maybe this guy was cheating, but maybe on occasion this FPS thing was actually happening to me and other people that I've played with. And like I say, watch this last bit of his video. He's got this person set on very low FPS and the other person's recording him, and he's holding the mouse down in full auto and the gun isn't even firing. It rates maybe a bullet every 2 to 3 seconds. Now at that, you're never going to beat anybody in this game. You're never going to kill anybody. You're never going to come out on top. And that to me is a game breaking mechanic. the mechanic of being able to depress your mouse whilst you're aiming at somebody and take them down is the mechanic that underpins all of these games that are like this. You know, it's the FPS main mechanic, and it looks like an Escape from Tarkov with this video anyway that isn't working. Now, I realise that there's a very passionate community around this game, and I am by no means slagging this game off. I love this game as much as the next person, and I want to see it succeed. It's quite an original, unique setup within this game, the way it plays, the way you go into it. You know, I love the looting system, I love the mechanics of it, but there's something not quite right with it, and maybe this Eroktic's hit the nail on the head with his video, and maybe this is what's holding this game back. I've spoken to a couple of my friends that play this game, and we all agree that there are situations where this could have played a part in us not winning a firefight, you know, and it is a game-breaking thing. Now, there's been no official confirmation of this from Battlestate. They haven't come out and says, oh yeah, we know this happens, blah blah blah. They haven't even acknowledged this, but quite a few YouTubers are talking about it now, and it seems to be gaining traction within the community. Maybe at some point we may get answers from them. Maybe even this patch that's meant to launch today could actually fix this. I would hope that Eroktic will do a comparison video once the new patch is out and compare his findings in that video to how it plays after the patch, but we'll have to wait and see for that. I will tweet the guy anyway and ask if he's going to do that, because it'd be interesting to see if there is any difference. But I've done a number of tests myself. Now, basically what my test was just to see if the FPS on the maps changes once we've had the patch. So what I did this morning was I launched into all 4 maps in offline mode, and I basically just recorded myself walking from one area to another, and then once the patch has dropped, I will repeat that process in the same areas, doing the same walk, and I'll watch the FPS and see if there is much difference. Now, that's quite like a caveman-ish way to do it, but it'll give us a rough idea of whether the FPS have changed. Now, the last map that I did this on this morning was Customs, and I did it from the Crossroads checkpoint where the APC is parked. I walked down the road, and I was getting roughly 60 to 70 FPS on my rig, and when I turned back towards the APC, which is obviously facing the edge of the map, my FPS went to 120, and I noticed that turning round, looking at the edge of the map and then looking into the middle, I would lose half of my FPS. Now, that seems a bit off to me. That basically means that if I am stood at the APC and I turn to shoot at somebody down the road, does that mean that my rate of fire is then drastically lowered just because of the way I'm facing on the map? I mean, is that right? Am I getting this right? I'd love other people to launch into offline mode and test this themselves, see if they get similar results. I spent about 10 minutes on the map walking around doing the same thing, and from whatever point I was in, as long as I was near the edge of the map and I looked at it, my FPS shot up. But as soon as I turned and looked in towards the centre of the map, it just dropped like a stone. So there's something off there, definitely. There has to be. This doesn't happen in other games that I play. You know, yeah, your FPS goes up and down depending on what information is on the screen, but to lose half your FPS just because you're looking in a different direction, that seems way off to me. But as I say, watch Eroktic's video, you know, make your own mind up on that. Do you play this game, and do you think that this could be something that you've witnessed within the game? Do you think that the FPS tied into the RPM of your gun is something that's maybe played a major part in some battles that you've took part in within the game? Or do you think it's all bollocks and he's just looking for attention? I mean, the video looks pretty damning to me, but you never can tell 100%, can you? So yeah, you make your own mind up on this one, ladies and gentlemen. But if it is true, if other YouTubers do the similar tests and come up with the similar kind of results, then have we just found a game-breaking mechanic within this game? Is it something that they could fix? Is it the way the netcode's set up? Is it the way Unity works? Is it the way they've got their servers set up? You know, what could be causing this? I don't believe it's something that is tied in with other games. I've certainly never heard of the rate of fire being tied into the FPS in any other games. So yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts and feelings on this. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.